it really has nothing to do with your situation with him. It has everything to do with my marriage with him, right? Like, we signed up for this. Well, my intentions were pure, and all of that was interceded with, this news, which, a baby is a blessing. And I had told him, and he can attest to this, that I was willing to support him in spite of all of that. But when you say, hey, the mother of my child is still in love with me and I still have feelings for her and I don't want to raise my child in a separate household, it can seem duplicitous, to be honest.
I know Chris has alluded to the fact that we may be trying to work things out, and I wanted to make it very clear. Mm-hmm. Me and him working it out, that's not my intentions right now at all.
Okay, well, this is a shock. If you're not reconciling things with the mother of your child, then what was the real reason we're getting a divorce? So did you try to make things work out with her, and then now this is a shock for both parties here? This relationship no longer serves me. I don't harbor any ill feelings towards you either. I just met you. And you're beautiful, by the way.
You are too.
Yeah, so I do appreciate you coming and talking to me. I'm at peace with the whole situation.
It's a tough situation for everyone, so I'm glad that you're in a good headspace.
Yeah.
You quiet? You have anything to say?
I'm irritated.
He's probably not good, but whatever.
I'm irritated, but God is good.
Oh, God, you're always irritated, Chris. Always irritated.
And he has nothing to say. He has nothing to say. He is probably embarrassed. I would be upset too if the woman I said that I'm supposed to run back to said denies me on national television and was like, no, that's not happening. Like, joke's on you.
So this conversation is not accomplishing anything that I intended for it to accomplish, because Paige has her guns out and she's firing shots, insinuating that her intentions were pure, my intentions were impure.
I feel like I've ruffled some feathers, so
Everything is good.
like I said, I'm not
can't wait to
opposed
eat
to
tonight. Can't wait
having
to
a conversation.
I can't wait to eat and order food and read my Bible, catch up on the games today. Today is Sunday, so I'm really excited about that.
That's not cute.
I'm not trying to be cute. She's being rude all night.
She's not being rude, actually.
She's being very rude.
No, she's not. Under the circumstances,
we
she's
can have a
actually
conversation.
being very respectful and
No,
nice
and I
under
get
the circumstances.
that under the circumstances that she was definitely affected by everything that happened.
Right, so
But
she's
we're
not
not going
being
to paint the situation as if I've just mistreated her the whole time, and that's not the case. I've been nothing but honest and respectful towards her, and I don't feel like the respect is being reciprocated at this point. So I think this has been an amazing conversation. That's it.
I'm sorry that you are dragged into this as well. I'm sorry. I guess he's done.
Yeah. That was a repeated thing with him.
Oh, girl.
I know Chris's temperament. When things get a little challenging or if he feels frustrated or flustered, he's ready to cop out. And to be honest, this relationship no longer serves me, because I need a man that is going to be with me through thick and thin, through sickness and health, through death do us part, like all of that. You made vows and you still have not yet to honor them. So it is time for me to walk away. And I'm okay with that.
Hello everyone, it's your girl Marie Zoe. You guys have heard what was said on this week's Married at First Sight between Paige, Chris, and the mother of his child, who he got pregnant while he was with Paige. And I rarely watch this show, however this season really made a lot of people upset, including me. So I'll be speaking on the whole situation, and then I'll be saying what I feel as though Paige should do. And the type of person Chris is and how a lot of women should flee from men like him. Please stay tuned for the rest of this video. So as some of you may know, Married at First Sight is basically a show. It's basically in the title, you get married to someone, they put you up with some of the producers based off of the qualifications and the qualities of a person. And then they make you guys get married. And after the 90 days, after the whole thing goes through, then you really decide whether you want to stay married to that person. Well, there's a very interesting couple named Paige and Chris, and I really am getting to know this couple. However, there's been situation after situation which have caused me and other viewers to be like, no, Paige needs to leave this man. First things first, the day he gets married, the day after, he basically says he's not attracted to her and that he's just using her for her body, basically. He constantly disrespects her. He later then is forced by producers to tell Paige that he is expecting a child with his ex, which he was, by the way, forced to do. During this time, Paige is very sad, and you can really see that it's really taking a toll on her. So a lot of other casts go to see what's wrong with Paige and try their best to support her. And there is one episode, I'm not going to show it for copyright, however, he is talking to these other two women who are married to other men at first sight as well. And they're like, well, we're worried about Paige and things like that. And he said, well, the support has been balanced. I don't feel so I've been supported, which people are like, well, you're the one who cheated on her. Why are we supporting you? He feels as though he's entitled to support. So he goes off on them, and then they have a trip. And basically everyone's on Paige's side from the show and from the audience, the viewers. And Paige feels as though, oh, you know, this is in God's plan, and she's a Christian, so a lot of people feel as though she's really combining this negativity with what God wants for her, and obviously this isn't what he wants for her, and she really deals with his foolishness. So this last episode, she meets with the ex-girlfriend because Chris says he wants to divorce her, because he wants to make everything work with his ex-girlfriend. And she's okay with that too, because she's like, you know what, I don't want anything to do with this man anymore. And she gets to meet the ex-girlfriend, and basically the ex is like, no, I'm not trying to deal with him. She's low-key saying, yeah, I kind of dodged a bullet with him. I have a child by him, and that's it, strictly. So you can see he's upset because he thought these two women would fight over him. These women are so nice and so kind to each other, and they're really respective, especially the ex-girlfriend. She's really respective of Paige and has her backs in regards to Paige. She really has Paige's back, which I feel so is very important. One thing I couldn't stand about the video I just played was when he's like, oh, she's making it seem as though I've been doing her wrong the whole relationship. Well, you have been doing her wrong. You cheated on her. The producers basically had to force you to tell her that you had a child outside the marriage. You also said you weren't attracted to her. You talk to her like she has no sense. You disrespect her on a daily basis. You don't respect her. You haven't been respectful of her as of what we've been on camera. You used her. You said you weren't attracted to her after you had your marriage the second day. Like, it's just a mess. You have not been respectful towards her. You've been terrible towards her. Then in the clip, he has the audacity to say he's going to read the Bible. These people have the audacity to be Christian. These people have the audacity to put God in their foolishness when they treat women disrespectfully. Obviously, the Bible isn't doing any good for you, so I don't know why you are reading the Bible. You don't know how to respect women. God in the Bible says you're supposed to respect women and treat a woman like he treats his wife. So the fact that he talks to his wife any kind of way, disrespects her all the time, obviously the Bible isn't doing him any good, and I don't know what else to say. You should not be able to even touch a Bible. I'm so shocked nothing has happened to him, and you act this way. This isn't who God is. A lot of people are like, why is Paige even letting him do this to her? Well, what you guys have to realize is she can't leave the show. If you leave the show, you're fined. So she does have to stay for the whole process. And I do not like a lot of people calling her desperate or doormat and disrespecting her. Instead of disrespecting her, we should actually be encouraging her and saying, you know what, you are such a beautiful lady, which she is. You don't need to settle for a man like Chris. Chris is not a prize. He is uplifted because of her. People even look his direction because he has a beautiful lady like her on his hand. And she should just leave someone like that. We should be encouraging her, boosting her up to say, you know what, I deserve better than this. However, we haven't really finished the whole series, so we're going to see what happens at the end. But someone like Paige shouldn't even entertain a man like Chris. He's disrespectful to her on the daily, and she is too pretty to be with a man like him. He does the 50-50 thing. He doesn't want to walk her dog, but he wants her to accept a child that's not hers, and she does that. She should level up. She doesn't even need to level up. She just needs to find a man that really loves her. And hopefully after this series, a lot of men who are in high value positions, who are really respectful towards women, will go her direction and really want to marry a woman like her because she's a great person. I feel as though a lot of black women feel as though they need to be with black men in order for them to feel as though they're doing good. However, I feel as though black women just need to date people and marry people who love them and respect them and adore them and love them more than they love them. Black women just deserve the best. You don't need to date someone because they're black. Just date someone because they love you and they appreciate you and they will take care of you and they respect you. And I know I myself am not a black woman. However, I feel as though black women, they deserve the best. You guys deserve nothing but the best. You contribute to society. You do so much for people and you deserve everything in reciprocal. I see a lot of black men out here really feel as though they're the prize, when it's actually black women who are the prize. I hate for it to get racial, but it's just that I just see black women, they just go through so much. And when they want to get married to someone, they feel as though they have to marry someone that looks like them and they don't get treated well. Please date someone and marry someone who loves you. Paige deserves nothing but the world. Now for Chris, he is a very unlikable person, and people like him need to be held accountable. I hope people look at a person like Chris and like, oh, you know what, I shouldn't treat my son to feel as though he's entitled to everything in the world. If you watch the show, you see how his mom really babies him and he's never held accountable. That's why he doesn't feel as though he needs to be held accountable as to what he does to Paige, because his mom never taught him that. His dad is obviously not saying anything. He's obviously feels as though what his son is doing is okay. Men also need to treat their boys how to treat women and how to be men and how to be respectful. Paige deserves nothing but the best. People like Chris, women need to avoid at all costs. Instead of discouraging Paige, because black women, all they get is discouraged, we should be encouraging Paige instead of calling her desperate, a doormat, and all this stuff. We should actually be helping her say, you know what, girl, you can do better. You are the best, beautiful, educated, and everything that a man who is a great person would want. You don't need to settle with people who don't love you. You don't need to settle with people like Chris. This is not God's blessing on you, Paige. And I really hope a lot of people would realize a lot of bad stuff in life, that's not a blessing from God. Terrible marriages are not a blessing from God. People are like, oh, you know, we're going to become better. No, marriage can really take a chunk out of you that you can never get back. God's blessing is not on this. Paige deserves better. She's a very beautiful lady, a very educated lady. And you know, one thing that I was really happy to see was that Chris's ex and Paige did not fight over him. They had a great conversation. His ex-girlfriend was really encouraging Paige and was like, you know, she's actually a good woman to actually be dealing with this foolishness. They weren't fighting over him because he's not someone worth fighting for in a marriage or in any relationship. That's what happens when you uplift men's egos who don't really do anything. But they both realized, they were both respectful. They said, oh, you're beautiful. And they're like, yeah, you're beautiful too. They were really encouraging each other. They gave each other a hug at the end. And that really made Chris upset because he thought these beautiful women would fight over something like him. So what do you guys feel about the whole situation? Are you guys side with Paige? Do you guys side with Chris? And do you think Paige deserves someone better, someone who really loves her and truly respects her? Please hit that like button, subscribe, and that notification bell. Please share this video. and I'll see you guys in the next video. Okay, bye.